Hey guys, this is John.
And Austin.
And this is another episode of the Meatgistics podcast brought to you by Walton's. Before we get going here, just remember, leaving reviews really does help us. We're trying to grow the podcast. The more reviews you leave, the more it gets spread around. All right, we've got 3 steaks up here. One of them is a surprise late entry. This is all because Austin said he went out to Saltgrass recently, was very impressed by their level of steak. To be fair to Saltgrass, we ordered this, told them we wanted to pick it up at $2.45. By the time Patrick got there, where he was even a little bit early, they had already had it done. So I don't think it's a completely fair representation of this because it's now been 15 minutes since that time. So a little bit off.
Not perfect.
Then Austin comes in and goes home and cooks his own steak to compete with my steak, I guess. Mine is a prime steak from Sam's. I bought a 2-pack. This cost me like $34. This cost $31 and whatever. Do you know how much your steak was?
No.
Okay. Do you want to do that first, or do we want to address my possible infection on my skin knuckle? Let's eat first and then go for skin knuckle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eat first.
All right. So which one do you want to try first? I say we try the saltgrass one.
Sure.
Okay. Let's look for the best place. This is supposedly a ribeye, so that would be the spinalis right there. But it doesn't look like it's got much of a spinalis, so let's just take some right from here.
I'm hoping this solves like the question of like when you go out to a restaurant, should you buy a steak or should you just cook a good steak at home?
Well,
but
I got 2 steaks
already
for the price of this one steak.
Already the appearance is just it's so depressing.
Terrible.
It's like advantage cooking your own steak at home is that you can pick out what piece of meat looks the best.
And I did a good job picking it. Like I paid attention to the marbling. I picked through, got the one I wanted, and look how thin it is.
Yeah.
That sounds like picking a steak. It's like the new picking a lobster out of the tank, you know? Since you can't really do it anymore.
But I also don't think there's any like, hey, I want that lobster. It's better than the other ones. I don't know of any tricks. All right, tenderness
Tenderness is fine.
is fine.
It's
Taste,
a little dry.
yeah.
Taste is a little lacking.
Doesn't seem to have a ton.
You know, it's not a bad steak.
It is not a bad steak. All right, so we didn't choose the spinalis from that since there really wasn't one. So we'll do the same on this cooked steak. And Patrick has the extra cooked steak back there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you're not. The difference is that I cook this with like pride and love. Someone gets paid to do that.
Yeah. But they should be getting paid good because it's a $high steak. Yours is winning so far.
What song
Bliss.
is going on in your head?
Alas, my love, you do me wrong to cast me off discourteously.
That has lyrics? Nice.
Green sleeve. You guys don't remember that commercial? No, it was an old Snickers commercial. It is my favorite commercial of all time. For somebody who says he doesn't sing, I've sung a good amount on this podcast recently. All right, so yes, not even close from a tenderness aspect, from a taste aspect, home cooked steak.
Home cooked is winning.
So now
Hands
it's
down.
between you and me.
So now it's between you and me.
Cut it up, bad boy.
Oh, man.
I can't cut with 2 knives. What is
You can. I've done it before.
this? Is I don't know.
Would you feel more comfortable if I gave you a thermometer instead of a fork?
I saw this guy.
probably overcooked?
There's this movie. This guy had scissors for hands. You wouldn't believe how that ended, dude. That was wild.
Okay, so this is a strip steak. Just, again, it's not going to have the same tenderness. That's pretty tender for a strip steak.
Ding dong.
It is a little dry. Like, not dry. It's overdone. What did you cook it to? Do you know? Internal temperature?
Like 140, but then to get it here, I immediately wrapped it and put it in a hot cooler.
You cooked your steak to 140?
So I always cook steak. It's also like the thermometer reading 140, and typically mine looks like this.
Okay.
That is but I know the thermometer at home I normally use is hot. It reads hot.
Listen, that's obviously a good cut of steak. Because even from what I would call overdone, it's still really nice and tender. And it's still got some good... Is that Wagyu? What is that? That's Wagyu. That's Wagyu. I could tell from the fat. I'm like, why is there so much good fat in here? Okay. So did you take one from Dylan or did you get some of your own?
No, I went and got one.
Okay.
So that was the whole reason.
That is very good.
That's the whole reason I didn't want to tell you because I figured I was either going to embarrass myself
Yeah.
or I was going to
Win.
have some fun, but I wanted to make you lose, and I messed up the cookie.
Yeah,
messed up the
you still
cookie.
don't win.
Wagyu. He goes, is that Wagyu?
I should have known from appearance, to be honest. I thought that's a little thin for something else I would have chose, and it's not like it's trimmed too much, kind of.
I got
for
like
a
the
regular one.
cheapest Wagyu I could get though.
Okay.
Because I was like, I want an advantage, but I don't want it to be so obvious, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
just take a bite and you're like, this isn't fair.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's very good. What'd you season it with?
Mineral salt and pepper.
Yeah. With Wagyu, I've tried both our ultimate steak and roast rub and just salt and pepper, and I really do think salt and pepper with Wagyu is the way to go. Regular beef, there's no questions. Ultimate steak and roast rub. Ultimate steak and roast rub. I realized I was trailing away from the microphone as I was saying that. Okay, so I win. I didn't know I was playing against you, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you win.
Yeah. That steak is definitely not worth $31.
No.
Definitely not worth $31 from Saltgrass. Now, could also be because you said you went there and you were really happy with your steak. So they might have a different quality of steak for takeout as they do for dine-in.
Maybe.
Did yours look like that?
No.
Okay, it was thicker?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Well, I guess what size did we get too? Was there? I don't even know. Was there an option on sizes?
There were two sizes. I got the smaller one.
I don't really get it. I never get the smaller one. You go somewhere. Always buy the bigger.
Was yours like $50-something for the steak?
I don't know.
You don't even know.
It's been, I don't know, when I first like sent something out about like doing this and I went there, I mean, that's been like 3 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. So I don't remember.
And I found an old package of snack sticks in there that I would have sworn I did in 2023. Nope. Date is August 2024. So I have no idea how long things are anymore.
So I also have an idea on how much the steak cost. I just said no before because I figured that's a giveaway. If I'd have told you, oh yeah, I know what it costs.
Oh, okay.
And it was like $40.
Okay.
So they had everything from like 40 to like 70.
All right, then
40,
you got that one.
40 was your no, sorry, not this. This one.
Oh, okay.
So this one was like 40. You could get the highest grade up to like $70. So we're at least
for
kind
a
of
single steak.
for a single steak.
That's
But still,
insane.
31 whatever. I mean, you're in the same
Yeah,
ballpark
that's
price
true.
range as
Yep.
is what you're buying at the restaurant.
But 35 or something for two.
True.
So big advantage there.
So if we'd have cooked it, if I would have cooked the
Yeah, I don't
Wagyu
want-
right, what would you do? Would you do 2 for 35 or would you do 1 for 40?
Probably. Am I feeding myself or is this like having people over? Because then I'm doing the cheaper one. If I'm doing it for myself.
I think doing it for yourself. Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm a cheapskate. I'd still go the 2 for 35. I don't have Wagyu money. Maybe when my house sells, then I'll have Wagyu money. But for right now, we're on a prime steak budget. Meh. All right. So as we're cutting everything up, I skinned my knuckle the other day because I was doing a bunch of washing. My hands were wet. And I didn't hit anything sharp. I just hit something solid, and it like took all the skin right off my knuckle. Austin thinks it's infected. Allie said pour vinegar on it. Then I got up to do it, and they said no, we were joking. But now I want it. I don't think it's gonna hurt like you guys think it's gonna hurt.
No, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna sting, but it'll be no worse. It'll not even be as bad as getting lime juice in a cup.
You must have been fun at parties and when you're like 20, 21.
That's accurate.
Do this.
Yep.
Oh, no. Don't do it. I was just joking. Come on, dude. You're crazy, man.
Okay, I got to look up right now. Lime juice
That doesn't even
pH
vaguely hurt.
versus vinegar pH.
It's stinging a little bit now. What do you want? You want some? Allie is up here and would like some steak. Do you want to put it on a plate for you? No, she's done.
That's interesting. So it depends on what vinegar you get,
That's 50
but
grain?
it can be slightly more or less.
Yeah, it's way
not.
less.
I figured that vinegar would most likely be like hands down more, but it's not. Maybe a little bit more, but probably the same to less.
Yeah, I would way rather have done that than got lime juice in a paper cut or something.
Interesting.
I'm such a baby about paper cuts. It's not even funny. Insane. All right. So this weekend, just for everybody to know what's going on, I'm out. I'm going to be in Colby with Allie, Brett, my family, basically, without Austin and Dylan. Cole is even coming in from out of state with his 2 kids, and we're going to go do some pheasant hunting on Saturday and hopefully some on Sunday morning. So
This is the anniversary of your cramp video.
This will be the anniversary of my cramp video. That was a bad day. Allie saved me there. We went hunting all day. I didn't take any water like an idiot. And when we were done, I hopped in the back seat of, or not the back seat, the back of a truck, started drinking beers with our guide. Your mom came around and I wanted to be polite and get down to let her get up. As I got down, I felt one hamstring cramp. And as I was trying to fix that, like before I even hit the ground, the other one went. And I laid on the ground, like writhing in pain.
You just stiffed them.
And thank God I was surrounded by these very kind people who decided to take videos of me as this was happening. But then,
Stretch them out. You gotta get
but then Allie gave me, what was it though? Do you remember the brand? Some brand of electrolytes. Yeah, it fixed it immediately.
Bro, I would have stretched you out, dude.
I didn't need stretching out. I needed those electric lights
No.
or electrolytes.
Hey.
Because within
Look at me in the eyes. It would have happened.
less than 10 seconds after drinking those, I was up and walking around. It was awesome. So remember to keep electrolytes if you're going to spend all day in the field. Be stupid and not bring water and then drink beers. Electrolytes are a good thing.
You said it the same way my kids do. Electric. They say electric lights.
Electric lights. I did not. I said electrolytes.
One time in there, you said electric.
I got it wrong.
lights. Yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard Allie saying something like commenting on me saying it weird, but I couldn't quite tell. Electric lights. All right. A couple other things. Do you have a favorite food conspiracy?
That last word really changes that
Food
sentence.
Yes.
conspiracy.
We're working on fixing how I talk. It's just taking a while.
I don't know. Like, I mean, as soon as you say food conspiracy, I know what one immediately pops in my head.
What is it?
The Parmesan cheese thing.
Yeah, but that's not even a conspiracy. Like that's proven.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like a half conspiracy. It's a conspiracy that like
That it happens
is like
all the time.
actually like coming to light.
Right.
Because it can still be a conspiracy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess technically conspiracy is just you conspired with others to do something, but you know what I mean. Like something that you hear about but nobody's ever proven or
So totally unproven. I don't know.
Can we list a few? What do you
well, here are a few. These are all fast food, but it's KFC uses mutant chickens. That's why they
Oh.
changed the name from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC because they couldn't legally call it chicken anymore. Now, KFC sued the pants off the people who started that rumor, and they no longer make that claim. So, pretty sure it's still chicken.
Once all these places figure out it's nothing to do with the chicken, it's all about their breading.
Yep, 100%. Impossible Whoppers give men breasts based on the amount of estrogen used in the processing.
Has anyone ever tested to see what
Wait.
estrogen
They say
levels
it's
in there?
incredibly unlikely. The whole thing with like you eat a bunch of tofu, you're going to grow breasts also is just not really true. It's a phytoestrogen, so your body processes it differently. It's not good for men, but it's probably as bad as touching receipt paper, right? It's not like it tanks your...
Is there something new about receipt paper? It's the second time I've heard that in
I don't touch
in
it.
like
I don't think it's new.
in like 2-3 days.
They might have just
And
figured it out.
I had no idea that was the thing.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
I love sounding like a jerk leaving places. They
Yeah, I go, I
"How
don't
would
want to touch that.
They gotta go and see. I go, I actually don't want it. Can you throw it away?
Yep.
Please?
Yep. I never knew that's what was happening when remember when I was telling the grocery store, I'm like, don't give me my receipt. I don't want to see it. Never knew that that's what it was doing. But it was
Dude.
protecting my testosterone.
Rewind to me wiping my mouth of Burger King with receipt paper when I'm running out of napkins. I'm like, oh, there it is.
There, we got it. We got it.
You know, or just need a little pick me up. Just eat the receipt.
The Chipotle, E. coli, whatever, the scares, or not scares, but the actual E. coli outbreaks were
It's called scars.
staged.
It's called scars. Silly.
what?
Just messing with you.
Okay. Were staged as corporate sabotage. The McNugget is made from pink slime, and that one's been refuted. Like McDonald's even let them into the processing facility, and they made a response like, "There's no pink slime here." And then this one, the McDonald's ice cream machine. When they tell you it's broken, it's almost certainly not actually broken. Do you know what's wrong with it?
No.
Okay. It turns out these machines have unbelievably stringent cleaning instructions that take up to 4 hours to do.
What?
So if they're busy and they don't have time for it, they'll just immediately say, no one's cleaning the machine, ice cream's down until somebody can get to it and do it. So the employees just tell people, sorry, the machine is down or it's broken, instead of explaining, hey, nobody had time to go through the 4-hour cleaning process, which is insane.
Why don't you just keep it running all the time so you don't necessarily have to clean it? It's like a refrigerator. Who cleans their refrigerator more than like twice a year?
Patrick, was it Mr. Beast who did the twice a year?
Okay, maybe once a year.
Yeah, I was going to say, lucky if I get to it.
I was
once a year.
trying to add another one in there so I didn't sound like
As
the
a now
crazy
single
person.
guy, I'm not sure. I've been in my house by myself about 14 months now, and I have not cleaned my refrigerator.
You do. I just
right.
got your weekend project.
No, you didn't. I'm out of town. I'm hunting. Patrick, is it Mr. Beast who does like the crazy challenges? Has people do crazy challenges? He did one where he put people in a room and they had to stay there for like 6 months or whatever it was, and they'd get X number of thousands of dollars a day they stayed. They would have a hot tub. They had an ice cream machine. They had all these things. Well, there was no way to filter or heat the hot tub. The ice cream machine immediately went moldy within no time and just started stinking terribly. So I don't think you can just keep running an ice cream machine. I think you do have to take it down and clean it.
It's disappointing.
Which is a shame because as far as just like an ice cream treat goes, if I was to pick one ice cream treat, it probably would be soft serve from McDonald's. I love that. It's delicious.
Yeah. Soft serve is amazing.
Oh, dude, can you guys make a good soft serve and we can compare it to theirs?
I have no idea what's in that.
Oh, man.
I would put the blackberry pepper in it, though. And probably.
Wait, shows my lack of knowledge about what's going on right now. Do we still have that?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
It just makes me nervous when we get like specialty shakers like that. Like I feel like I get too attached to one and then it's gone. So I try to remain unattached.
The problem is you now have me questioning myself. So we're going to do a little bit of on-the-spot live fact-checking of me. We will see if I was correct, and do we still have blackberry pepper?
So we can make an ice cream company. We can call it Malton's like I wanted it to, and we can be everything but the milk.
Listen.
Right? Hold on. No,
He's
just do
got unbelievable ideas.
Just do what we do now, but for a different conglomerate. Just like we want, the mom and pop soda shop instead of the butcher shop. Look, less heavy lifting is what it sounds like to me, guys. What do you say? I'll cut you in.
The problem with everything but the milk all of our product would have milk. Are you saying supply everything you need to make your own ice cream?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if there's a big enough market for that, but I love the idea.
Who would have thought this is anything? Come on, man. Listen,
That's
if you want to shelf my, my
Patrick, I called it a great idea.
But what do we
I liked Maltons because they used to call it like ice cream malts or something, right? Yeah. So it works on many levels.
Oh yeah, we're there.
And we still piggyback off the Walton's name and all of that.
Just do what they're
And
doing.
I'll be the face of that, so people are like, wait, what's he doing over there?
Where do you guys get your stuff to make all your shakes at? Oh, it's this great company called Malton.
Maltons.com. We love it. Okay, moving on. We've got just a couple of things that we're going to react to real quick. They're in two different categories or areas, so just watch it on my screen. This one, what would you call it? The words on it. I can't think of what to say, but all it says is I'm done. God, I can't talk. I'm done with hunting public land. And it's a guy in a deer stand. He's filming a guy on the ground with antlers doing, rubbing, but he is rolling around doing barrel rolls.
I was literally going to say barrel.
Yeah. Scraping the antlers up against trees, like just absolutely ridiculously. So if that's not staged, yeah, that's a good reason that public land can be a little bit
Yeah.
unsafe?
Unfortunately,
Because that guy's got a rifle somewhere.
Unfortunately, I believe that could be legit.
That
It's not
probably
staged.
is legit.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at now is a, I don't know, 800-pound grizzly bear.
Minimum.
And this guy is feeding it porridge by hand out of a bowl.
And waiting for his head to be gone.
It's not going to...
Like, it's like every
if
other...
you get them as a cub, grizzly bears are good pets.
No.
Or, first of all, it's not a grizzly bear. It's a brown bear.
It just...
Look, it's licking him.
He's seeing, hey, what's the skin flavor today? Am I gonna lick you like a lollipop, or am I gonna eat you like a Tootsie Pop? It's where he's going. He's thinking it. You know,
Bears
he's
are big
it.
dogs. I think that's my new take: is bears are big dogs.
Have you ever had your dog bite you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It hurts.
That bear bites you.
Yes.
You are not here tomorrow
Right. Yes.
to talk about it.
It's a much different thing. The dog that bear is 4 times or more the size of my dog, probably more than 4 times.
This is just ridiculous.
But it's adorable, and I don't care. If I could do everything over, I would be living in the mountains somewhere, and I would have stolen a little grizzly bear. All right, now Allie wants us to watch this one, but it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm against it. It's when the man opened the door, he saw a moose there and realized the moose wanted him to follow him. So then clearly a different moose is running down the street as someone follows it, and then they're digging some moose calves out of some stream that they fell into with a lot of...
Is that what that is? It's like a frozen river?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And then, all right, I'm muting it again. And then it shows them petting a baby moose, and then this big moose brings its 2 moose around a few times, and they play in the sprinkler. The problem is I've seen all of these individual clips like years ago as individual clips. So none of this is lining up correctly. So while Allie wanted a nice story, she doesn't get it.
Good video, but somebody's here for the clicks.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Moving on, we just have a couple things with Meat Matters. There wasn't a ton going on in like the meat world.
John raged today. He raged because he couldn't find enough Meat Matters stories.
I don't know if I raged. I was just frustrated.
You got red, so I think it qualified as rage.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm better than I was about 3 months ago with my temper, but this inability to sell my house is making my life difficult, and I'm not dealing with it great. So we don't always have my gun on me when I leave the house anymore. I'm like, today's not a day I should have a gun. A little too angry. All right, new survey reveals many Americans are eating less meat for the same reason. Now, that's misleading because in the article, it says of the 1,200 respondents, nearly 70% said they were eating less red meat compared to last year. 64 said the same was true for processed meat, 34 for poultry, and 26 for seafood. Price was a key factor in why respondents were eating less meat, with nearly a third of respondents saying cost had motivated their decision to cut down on red meat, okay? 1/3. Meanwhile, 64% of respondents said they were eating less red meat for health reasons. So the real headline should be 64% of people saying they're not eating red meat because of health reasons, not for money, right?
Yeah. To be honest, I'd also argue that people need to figure out how to poll better because
You think?
I like yeah. Like how insanely popular has things like carnivore diet been over the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
and it just continues to grow, and people do that for health reasons. And I would also argue because I've been carnivore-esque, like carnivore, and I think I spend less money than I do when I'm eating other stuff because I eat less food and I eat single things instead of going a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, throw things away that go bad. I spend less. I might spend more initially at times, but you look at the overall and it's less.
I agree.
And I think it's healthier. And so it's exact opposite of what they're saying here.
The difference in how you look from here to a year ago is, it's night and day. Like your face is back to its old shape.
Thanks.
your color is better. Like your eyes are brighter. Like you're more back to your old self than you were. So, and I've kind of what? Apparently, I was complimenting Austin too much for Patrick's liking. Okay, but this headline reminds me of 2 out of every 10 homeless people is a woman. It's like, yeah, the real leader there is 8 out of 10 homeless people are men, right? Like, I don't like headline manipulation. It's super weird. Very, very weird. And as you continue to read through the article, it just points out more and more that more people are doing it for health reasons than cost reasons. So, yeah, I found that pretty funny. Next one is, here's why Costco recalled almost 80,000 pounds of butter. Austin alerted me to this one. You want to talk about this one?
Oh, it's just depressing. So,
and it's senseless. And that's
anytime
why.
you get an article that's like a recall, I start to get worried because it's going to end up like this one. So is there anything wrong with it? Are we tracking down like some E. coli cases? What's going on? Nothing's wrong with it. Recalled 80,000 pounds of butter because it was missing an allergen ingredient statement. It contains milk. How many people, especially people that have a milk allergy, don't understand that butter has milk in it? Just blows my mind. And you have to throw all that away. It's frustration on so many different levels. But like at first I'm like, can I have it?
Right.
I want it. I'll eat it. And then I get frustrated because I'm like, now the price of my butter is going up because the company that threw that away they're gonna make their money back. So just goes into the overall profit margin on what they need to make, and it's either pre-calculated in that they're going to lose so much a year, or they're not going to make enough money and they'll raise their prices.
Since it's Costco, I would bet that's whoever they get it from is contracted.
Could be.
Yeah. I even think it said it's their Kirkland brand.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're not getting hit on that. And they're probably not going to allow the price of butter to raise. I mean, this is the home of the $1.50 hot dog meal, and they refuse to raise the price on that. So, yeah. So I would imagine that won't really hit anyone's bottom line, pocket, whatever.
I want to know if there's a way to track who actually turns the butter back in for the recall. I would.
So we can ridicule them?
I want the names and numbers,
Yes.
and then I'm going to put a do not buy list.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Can we call the butter return?
See what I'm saying? For anyone who might not have heard that and didn't catch it, Patrick wants to know if we can call that butter re-churned instead of returned. It is a phenomenal joke. I couldn't imagine a butter joke would be.
Ah!
I think he just had a heart attack. All right. We've got another one. One more thing to. Oh, no.
What?
How did this happen? Okay. Let's restart that.
How did that get?
We've got a cow on an awning, and it's falling off, and then it cuts to beef being tossed onto a tostada. Is that a tostada?
Is it a flat shell?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Tostada. Look at me knowing
At least
ethnic foods.
That's how I would. That's what I. No, that's.
How
not.
did it get up there?
No, you're wrong. That's not tostada.
Hey, don't take it away from me. How did it get up there? It must have been on the roof
That's like a quesadilla or something.
and then gotten down.
I
That's the
don't
only
know.
way that makes sense is that it came there and fell. It couldn't have jumped,
On the
right?
back of the roof, there's some hay bales and some trash, and
Yeah,
it just kind of
could have gotten up there.
crawled its way up. I guess. Who knows?
Anybody want to take guesses on how high a cow can jump?
It was born up
like-
there, like from the ground or
Mhm.
fall. Like
Nope. No, jump.
6.
I give it.
feet.
I don't know.
S-
I'd say 2.5.
Like
2.5
I'm
feet.
talking about how far can their hooves get off the ground? You're saying 6
World
feet.
record. The Earth has been around a while.
Okay. They're 1,200 pounds on average. Just doesn't have an answer? Okay. What's the maximum height? Yeah, most cattle can jump 2 to 3 feet off the ground. However, larger breeds have been known to jump over 5 feet. So, I mean, Patrick could be right.
6 is over 5.
6 is over 5, so he's good.
Cool. I love it when both answers are right.
Yes. That's at least 7. That's right. It is at least 7. All right, emu spotted 3 months after 2 giant birds escaped in South Carolina. So this neighborhood in South Carolina saw a emu running around and obviously called the authorities. When somebody spoke up and said, "Yep, that's mine. Not only is that mine, but there's another one out there. They're feral. They've been missing for months, and I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want to deal with it."
I said they're trying to get a tranquilizer approved.
Approved. So I don't understand why they can't just go trank it.
So this is
Yeah,
the
what-
plot to the movie we've been needing to make, right? It's called Emu, right? And then it's just this thing's loose in the neighborhood. Group of kids don't know what it is. It's plucking them off one by one, and then they finally figure out by the end it's an emu. And then, but the sequel, Emu 2, there's another one. out
Wait.
there.
But have you ever seen a cassowary? I think that's the right term for it.
Sure, it's like another big bird.
They kind of look like emus.
Sure.
So-
oh, maybe that's what it's okay.
Right.
Whatever you want. Yeah, sure. we
But
can do that.
cassowaries are super. That's the only animal that Steve Irwin was afraid of.
Are you serious?
Uh huh. He
Well,
would.
there was
They'd film it every time he'd get into its cage, and he'd always be like super on guard, and he'd jump right out if it came at him at all, because they have like huge daggers on the backs of their claws, and they are aggressive.
Huh.
So cassowary, it's a better movie than emu.
It's got me. Made another.
You know what you were doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Escaped monkeys. 43 got out of a medical research facility. They found one. The best part of this story is that the monkeys are yards away from where they got away.
Who's
So
28
somebody forgot to lock a door while they were feeding them, and the monkeys just went, "Yep, we're out of here,"
28 days later, dude.
and then stayed right there.
Oh my gosh.
And what they're doing is they're hopping back and forth across the fence. Anybody tries to come collect them, so they'll wait till they almost get to them, and then they just go over the fence. And it just everyone's exhausted from trying to catch them. So they're apparently going to be wild monkeys in America again.
Why don't you just build a new enclosure
Around 'em.
around them? Yeah.
Look at that, solving problems.
I just just want everyone to remember where this originated when the next pandemic starts.
Okay, I'm not even thinking pandemic. What I'm thinking is how many years until rhesus monkeys, which is the type of monkeys these are just part of the Everglades. Like, yep, there's rhesus monkeys in the Everglades now.
That'd be kind of cool.
Wouldn't they melt?
What did you ever cook as rhesus? So a rhesus monkey is kind of the type of monkey that they mainly do medical experiments on. So these ones were breeders. So they would have these ones to make small monkeys. Those small monkeys would be shipped off to medical facilities to run tests on, do things like that.
So if I'm eating a lot of Reese's, I'm the monkey then, right?
You are the bad one.
I'm the
Yes.
one
No,
I'm getting tested on by eating their chocolate and peanut butter goodness.
RHEUSUS.
I'm not sure what
That's rhesus
submarine
monkey.
you just told me.
The only reason I know any of this is from an old Tom Clancy book.
sounded like an old back in the USSR song you were doing or something.
I'm not going to be able to talk anymore soon with all the crap you give me about
What are you talking
how
about?
like
This is all lighthearted banter.
I'm doing it now again. I can't stop doing it when I bring it up.
Talk
I'm going to have to go to a voice coach because of you, Patrick.
Your cadence is.
My therapist bill will be coming to you directly.
Who's therapist Bill? I didn't know you went to a therapist, let alone a guy named Bill.
Oh, God. Okay. So next week we'll see what happens with hunting. Hopefully there's some good stories from that. Maybe I can win a gun. Did we talk about?
Did anybody win a gun?
No. Do you want to hear the story?
No one talked to me about anything.
You don't want me talking about it? I have major problems. I'll tell you offline.
Okay. But
I'm bad.
important thing, nobody won a gun though.
Nobody won a gun.
That stinks.
No.
We're talking about local pheasants forever.
Somebody should have won a gun.
Uh-oh. Okay, I would. Uh-oh.
And the squares thing.
Yeah.
So I bought some of those, wrote it down, and they normally cross off lines and then you're out. And it's the last people who, have uncrossed out squares. No, they did the exact opposite this time. They just went one line,
And that was
then
the winner?
and at the intersection was the winner.
That
Well,
sucks.
I was one over from the intersection, and I was about to say, because I saw him go up there, I'm like, I think that's me. I was gonna be like, I got crossed out twice. Now, however, my feelings on that would have flipped 180 degrees had I won it. Then I've been like, this is the best way in the world to do it. This is how they should do it every time.
Yeah.
So, bit of a hypocrite. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Thanks a lot, guys. Remember to leave a review. It really does help.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.